From the Figure 4 Online Studios in beautiful Bothell, Washington, exclusively at WrestlingObserver.com, you're listening to The Bryan and Vinny Show with your hosts, Brian Alvarez and Big Vinny V.
Black Wall Street!
That wasn't what I was expecting. It's the Bryan and Vinny Show here, everybody, with Craig. It's a Tuesday edition. We're playing all the Montezee Moore songs here today. Yeah, that's a new one.
It is.
Yeah. Caught me completely off guard. I got 4 new songs that he sent out, so we'll be playing those over the next couple of weeks here. This kind of music's right up Craig's alley, so I'll make sure that we play it regularly here on this program for him.
There's nothing wrong with hip-hop, Brian.
I know, Craig. That's what I was saying.
No, you were teasing me.
Yeah, because you're wearing a Pearl Jam shirt.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like a certain genre, but I like all music, Brian.
All music is great, Craig. Just like all women are beautiful. Let's get going here.
Later.
Oh, we will?
No, actually, we won't.
So we should talk about this now. Let's get some heat on you. All right, what do we got here today?
Raw and Nitro.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Ask a stupid question.
Was it last week that we said both these shows were good? Was that last week on the show?
That's what you said, yes.
Yeah. Raw. Let's do Raw first, like always.
Okay.
Or like the new always.
Yeah.
Nitro is so fucking bad. It's hilarious.
See,
I had so much fun watching Nitro.
Parts of it were
And it's a
hilariously
fucking
bad.
horrific television show.
Nitro got to a very bad start, but turned it around. Raw was just a waste of time throughout.
I'm just thinking about this fucking deal at StarCast that RD's doing. Mm-hmm. The Death of WCW panel.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, why the fuck is he wasting his time? Go out on stage, air this Nitro, fucking go home. Right?
That doesn't draw money,
What the
Brian.
fuck is there to even debate? Seriously.
I don't have
I am dying to talk about Nitro, so can we get this Raw over with?
Retro Raw number 325, August 16th.
This show was stupid in a different way.
It was definitely stupid.
Yes.
August 16th, 1999. So China and Triple H arrive separately. Then Hunter comes out for a promo. They are pushing like crazy. This Sunday, pay-per-view, SummerSlam, a woman will challenge for the world title.
Yeah, Steve Austin versus China is the main event of SummerSlam
Sure it is.
for the title.
Hunter says he wants to put the focus where it belongs, on China, and she comes out. But then he changes his tune. He sarcastically, there we go, that's a word.
Easy for you to say.
Sarcastically talks about how great it is to be out there with her, celebrating with her as she qualified for the Royal Rumble and King of the Ring.
Well, he's not being sarcastic yet, Vinny. He's trying to be a really nice guy.
Trying to butter up to her.
Remember those times where you qualified for the Rumble and I filled that limo with roses?
Yeah.
And that time you qualified for the King of the Ring? All of these wonderful things. He's a heel.
Yeah.
That I did for you.
Yeah.
When you qualified for all of this.
So he asks her to please lie down for me in a match tonight, and I will pin you, and I will get my top contenders back.
Actually, I don't know if he said that. He wanted a match with her. I think he wanted to fight her.
Maybe he did.
He was still being a gentleman.
Well,
kind
she
of.
said no.
Yes.
So he changed his tune, called her an ungrateful bitch, said she was screwing him.
Excuse me, what did he call her?
An ungrateful bitch.
Okay.
Well,
That's an important
that's a
key to
quote.
this whole
Sure.
fucking stupid show.
Oh, yeah. At this point, she accepted his challenge and said he didn't have the balls to beat her.
He said, let's call a spade a spade. Remember who made your ass? I did. If it wasn't for me, you'd be nothing. I made you. You know goddamn well I can break you. This was all disturbingly true. And that is exactly what happened in her career.
Well,
You're not
knowing
wrong.
Triple H.
that actually, yeah. Yeah, that's a fact.
And then, yes, he called her an ungrateful bitch, chewed her out, buried her, belittled her, and then she accepted the match. I want everybody to remember that.
Chris Jericho arrived, asked where the stage was, like a geek, like he didn't know where the stage would be in a wrestling arena. Road Dogg versus Al Snow. Al Snow brings out Pepper the Chihuahua, hands him to Lawler. The dog pees everywhere. Match goes a minute, ref gets bumped, Boss Man hits Al with a nightstick, puts Dog on top, and the ref counts 3.
Road Dog, not Pepper.
Okay, thank you. That's an important point.
Pepper no-sold all of this, by the way. Just peed all over and didn't give a shit about the match.
I don't know if that's the ultimate selling.
Yeah.
So excited she's peed everywhere.
That was before the match.
Yeah, that's true.
She did not have a reaction to the finish.
Taker and Big Show came out for a promo. Taker announces
May I? I didn't remember
What
this.
if I said no? What would happen?
I did not remember this fucking promo. But I was on the board, and there's a thread about the retro shows, and I was getting tweets, and everybody's talking about the promo about the desert. Like I'm supposed to fucking remember this. Undertaker comes out, and he says, he's talking about motorcycles. He bought some motorcycles for himself in the Big Show.
Called his buddies in SoCal and said, make me
Yes.
some bikes.
He says, we drove through the desert.
Death
the
Valley.
hottest part of Death Valley. And I made sure. And Big Show's in the ring with him. He says, I made sure I only put enough gas in the Big Show's motorcycle that he'd make it there and he wouldn't be able to make it back.
He's stuck in the desert.
I'm trying to think about the math involved because Show's very fat. And like you got to figure out the exact amount of gas to put in the motorcycle because it's got to haul his fat ass, right? It's going to probably run out of gas a little bit earlier. But he's got to have enough gas for him to only get there but not back. But enough for Undertaker to get there and back.
Well, Undertaker gets a full tank.
So anyway, he says they got out there and they get to the middle of the hot-ass desert and the Big Show's out of gas.
As per usual.
And the Undertaker says to him,
Hey-o.
what are you going to do about it? And Big Show says, well, I'm going to wait. Quit laughing, Vinny.
I
You're
can't
killing
believe
my,
we already spent this
you're
much time
killing
on
my
this.
speech here.
Sorry.
He goes, I'm going to wait, Undertaker, until you go to sleep. Then I'm going to kill you. And I think he said I'm going to eat you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's to survive on the Undertaker's flesh until they find something else to kill and eat.
Okay. He doesn't mention how he's going to get back. But anyway, he's going to eat the Undertaker.
Take
okay.
his bike, yeah.
So the Undertaker hears this, and he has got a counter. I don't sleep. He zooms out of there. Left him for dead in the middle of the goddamn desert.
The dead man does not sleep.
2 days later, he says, I see the Big Show walking back into town. He's got a snake around his neck. I guess he ate it. He's got a pair of snakeskin boots on, and he's carrying his Harley on his back. The moral of this story, he says, if you're listening right now, I'd like you to pause this, and I'd like you to think about that story. And I'd like you to think about what the moral of the story might have been, that story that Undertaker told. The moral of the story, he says, is the SummerSlam pay-per-view will now be called Armageddon. What in the fuck was this fucking promo?
I don't know.
This was straight out of Hulk Hogan in the 80s. Remember he used to cut those weird-ass promos? He was hanging and banging.
Both, yeah.
Yeah, this weird shit that he used to talk about. It was always a journey that Hogan went on.
Yes.
Me and my brother, we blah, 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 blah. What was this? Why is Big Show his friend? He tried to kill him.
Oh, they're not friends, they're colleagues. And you had to put Big Show to the test.
They're not friends, they're colleagues. Therefore, it's okay for him to try to kill this fucking guy in the desert?
Well, he knew Big Show would survive, and Big Show knew he would survive.
This was the craziest fucking
I'm
thing
doing my best.
of all time. That's their build, by the way, to SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Their championship match.
Yeah.
A story about fucking motorcycles in the desert running out of gas.
We'd be happy to hear that Chris Jericho came out and said this promo sucked.
Fuck, he sure did. Said it was it wasn't boring. That was where he was wrong.
He called it boring. So the two giant slugs cutting a boring promo, forcing him to come save the segment. He talked about changing the channel, and everyone cheered. Buried literally everyone on the roster. Taker said he had more shower time than Jericho had ring time, warned him to never interrupt him again.
If you ever interrupt me again, it'll be the last time, and that's a promise.
Yeah.
And he did not look happy.
Oh no.
And Jericho looked very concerned on the ramp.
You can I know we've talked about this before, but Jericho talks about this in his book. Undertaker cut a horrible promo. Regardless of whose fault it was, the promo was horrible. And when Jericho came out and pointed out how horrible it was true, Taker was pissed. He was getting off on the wrong foot in the new job. Triple H versus China.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, just
As if you couldn't
20
figure out
minutes
there
into
might
the
be a
show.
fucking angle later based on this match.
So Hunter is stomping her in the corner, and Lawler's like, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah, Jerry Lawler.
Jerry
Of all
Lawler.
people.
Yes, the one who's appalled by this.
Jerry the King Lawler. Not only that, Vinny. Mm-hmm. Jerry the King Lawler says, I'm very uncomfortable with this. And then he says, imagine if Steve Austin gets his hands on her.
Yeah.
He'll have no mercy.
Yeah.
I'm like, could this be a more uncomfortable segment?
That was actually much. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
So Triple H was killing her, but not as bad as Austin would.
Well, he was killing her with mercy.
Yeah, Steve Austin would beat up a woman worse.
How about kindness?
Excuse me?
Can he kill her with kindness?
I see.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Jim Ross is out there having to play Matt Stryker saying, hey, she asked for the match. Or she agreed to the match, or whatever.
So she's
It's
asking
totally
for it.
not a wrestling match. Like, Hunter's punching her in the head repeatedly, kicking
Stomping
her ass,
her on the ground.
stomping the shit out
And
of
not
her.
trading holds. And anyway, Mankind appears, levels Hunter with the stairs. Chyna gets the pin. It's went much longer, like 3 minutes. So Mankind chases Hunter to the back with a chair. Then he returns. He challenges Chyna to defend the title shot against him tonight. Chyna responds by low-blowing him and saying no. And as she is leaving, Mankind rolls over to the mic and just asks, are you sure? That made me laugh. And then Shawn Michaels comes out and says, hey,
In his mom jeans.
his mom jeans, which is better than those shorts.
Yeah,
which
but
he
we
wore
got
later.
them both tonight.
Yeah. He did not want to piss Chyna off because he noted that any guy who pissed Chyna off tended to get hit in the balls really hard. But he said he has a special place in his heart for Mankind, and so he was granting Mankind this championship challenge match against Chyna. Shawn Michaels right here screwed Chyna more than Hunter or X-Pac ever did.
Yeah.
She won this thing fair and square last week. She's already defended it now, and now she has to defend
what
it
he
again
said.
in the main event.
Yeah.
So,
Let's talk about how...
just because he likes Mick. He likes Mick more. What a jerk.
Let's talk about how the referee in this match was unable to see or hear a 300-pound man hitting a 260-pound man in the head with 300-pound steel steps.
Yeah.
That ref sucks.
Dude, it's 1999
Is
Raw.
it Nick Patrick?
If you pay attention to this kind of thing. Steve Blackman versus Test.
Oh. Grotesque.
A minute in, Shane McMahon comes out in a 4XL shirt. I assume his gear got lost. He had to borrow something from Big Show. And then he just gives Blackman a kendo stick for the DQ.
Yeah, he gave him a stick for the disqualification.
Yes.
I shouldn't complain because how many times has somebody grabbed a weapon in the ring and the ref has not called for a DQ and I get really mad?
Wait till we get to Nitro.
And then people are like, well, you have to use the weapon. And it's like, so if I get in the ring with a handgun,
Not a DQ.
it's not a DQ till I shoot you.
And even if you miss,
This is bullshit.
even if you miss, it won't be a DQ.
So anyway, this was stupid.
So they're beating up Test. Shamrock runs down. Blackman wraps the stick around Shamrock's head. Just grotesque. And they beat up Test with it, and that's that.
Shamrock is just such an idiot on this show. He runs down like a fucking idiot every week. He gets beat up. He bleeds out of his
always
mouth
getting hit in the head.
repeatedly. He's always hitting his head.
Steve Austin cuts a promo backstage. He vows revenge on whoever hit him in the head with a cinder block.
Can we have a son of a bitch count? There's at least 4 in this promo.
Said it might take him 30 or 40 minutes to beat Triple H at SummerSlam, but 5 minutes or a few seconds to beat Chyna.
You gotta applaud WWE's continuity because he had makeup on his head like he had been scarred by a cinder block.
That's true.
Yeah.
Or it's also Raw 99. I would believe it. They may have just hit him in the head with a block.
Okay.
Off
Could've been,
camera.
Yeah.
Off camera just to make the wound real. So he said whether it was Chyna, Hunter, or Mankind, he'd whip somebody's ass at SummerSlam. X-Pac and Kane versus the Acolytes for the tag titles.
This was a good match
This was fun, yeah.
It's a fun little TV match.
because we had Farouk beating the shit out of X-Pac.
I like when Farouk's got X-Pac. I've seen a million guys hit a running facebuster. It's a Sting staple. Jericho does something like it. You run off the ropes, you grab the guy's head and hair, and you jump and you fall on your ass and his face goes down. Farouk did it from a standing position, which looked 1,000 times goofier.
He always does that.
I had not noticed Farouk doing that before.
Yeah, it's one of his moves.
I'll watch it more often now. So, heat on X-Pac, Kane comeback, heat on X-Pac again. By Raw match standards, this was like 2 Iron Man matches, or Raw 1999 standards. Kane and Bradshaw threw 1,000 big boots, and then Kane hit Bradshaw with a chokeslam and got a clean pin.
Yeah.
I was stunned.
He beat him clean in the middle. So now they retain their titles. They defend against Undertaker and The Big Show. at SummerSlam.
And then, of course, 2 seconds later, the Acolytes no-sell everything and destroy X-Pac and Kane. If it was that easy, why didn't you do it 5 minutes ago and win the belts?
That's a great point, Vince.
But you know what, Vinny?
So stupid, this show.
You know how many fights I've watched where there's 2 guys in the ring and they're not doing jack shit for the last 5 minutes, and it's the most boring fight you've ever seen. And finally the bell rings, and one guy gets pissed at the other guy for not doing anything, and he goes after him after the fight.
Okay.
Why didn't you fucking fight him then?
Well, that's a fair question, too.
So this does happen in real life.
This is worse, though, because this is not the Acolytes not fighting. This is the Acolytes getting beaten.
Yes.
They had just been killed.
Yes.
And they came back to life stronger.
They should have done something during the match then.
Yes.
I went, as you were pointing out my shirt, I went to Pearl Jam on Wednesday and Thursday, and there was a fight about 3 people in front of me. And these 2 guys were walking by, and they're being complete pricks, and ended up bumping into this guy, and the guy got livid, and he grabbed one of them by the throat, and he pointed the finger at the other one, and the blank expressions and fear on both of their faces as he pushed them away. He had the one guy by the throat and was going after the other guy.
Was this Kane?
After he let them go, then they wanted to fight.
Of course they did. This happens in real life.
Yeah.
People are dumb.
Hardcore Holly is backstage telling somebody to stay in the dressing room until he said so. Hype video for the return of the British Bulldog.
Yeah.
I'd almost totally forgotten this happened. Mm-hmm. But yes, after Montreal, after his WCW run, after Warriors Trapdoor, he did return to the WWF for a while. Hardcore Holly comes out for a promo. The company has backed me into a corner, he says, and I don't like that. So I got a new super heavyweight to team with me, my cousin Crash Holly.
The debut of Crash Holly here.
Rather morbid having Bulldog's hype video and Crash Holly's debut within like 5 minutes of each other.
Yeah, and China wrestling multiple times.
China wrestling multiple times. I'm not sure if there's probably others. Anyway, so Crash comes out. He takes the mic and say, Taker and Big Show are in trouble now that I'm here. And he gives Hardcore a condescending slap in the face. Just like, it's okay, I got this now. So Hardcore's insulted. They start to bicker. They start to brawl. They disappear into the crowd.
The Fightin' Holly Cousins.
The Fightin' Holly Cousins.
This is the best. I love this. The little guy who looks just like the other guy, and he's tougher than the big guy.
Well, he thinks he is.
Thinks he is.
Yeah.
It's great. And it leads to a ball pit.
It does lead to the greatest
That
segment
is
in all 3 of their careers and the ball pit. Cole interviewed Mankind backstage. Does Mankind, remind me, does he ever stop wearing the stupid shirt and tie?
That's a goddamn good question. He comes back as Cactus Jack.
Cactus Jack didn't wear it because
Yes.
Cactus Jack was cool.
Yes, but Mankind, that is his outfit.
For the end of time now.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Probably doesn't fit in the tights anymore. If you remember,
That's actually a fair point,
remember
but-
when he was Mankind and had that match with Shawn Michaels, he was in the best shape of his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's possible that stuff doesn't fit now.
Well, that's probably true, but I'm sure there was something else they could have done than a shirt and tie. So he says he's there to get revenge on Hunter. He's also going to beat China tonight. And we got, in fact, Mankind versus China. 90 minutes into the show, they mention, oh, by the way, Jesse Ventura will be at SummerSlam too. So Hunter's backstage trying to fight to ringside. They're showing Hunter more than anything going on in the match. There's 100 low blows.
Excuse me. They're showing Hunter more than anything that's going on in the match.
They are.
Okay.
Yeah. So, let's see. Hunter distracts China. Mankind puts her in the Sacco Claw and pins her. Hunter runs down, and Hunter and China double team forward.
Whoa. Hold the fuck on. Are you telling me that China lost her number 1 contendership? And she responded by helping Triple H beat up Mankind.
The guy who distracted her.
The guy who beat her ass earlier in the evening.
Yes.
The guy who called her an ungrateful bitch. And the guy who cost her number 1 contendership.
Yeah. Yeah, the show was stupid, Brian.
When she started laying the boots into Mankind, I was so fucking angry. And they beat up Mankind. They're stomping on him. And out comes Shane McMahon. he signs Mankind versus Triple H for the main event for the #1 contendership. And do you know what fucking Chyna does? She smiles and she shakes her head. That's right. He fucking deserves it. Mm-hmm. Shawn then comes out and signs the Falls Count Anywhere match where he'll be the second referee. I got more to say about this at the end, but like this right here, this is not quite as stupid as Nitro, okay? But it's not that much less stupid. This
Strong words.
This shows you how popular WWE was at the time. They were so fucking hot that they could do any stupid bullshit and it wouldn't matter. That's what this show was. This was dumb bullshit. As a fan, I was furious when she helped beat this guy up and now she's just back and she's Triple H's buddy again. Horse shit. Fucking stupid.
This show got a 6.6 rating.
Jesus Christ. Get out of here.
To Nitro's 3.3.
Yeah, Raw Today does a 1.5 or a 2 at best. Jesus fuck.
So Crash and Hardcore are fighting in the parking lot, and they decide, let's brawl on top of this semi-truck.
As one does.
So in the middle of the brawl, Hardcore teases falling off. He's wobbling around, his windmilling his arms, and Crash reaches out to grab him, and they start fighting again. Okay, funny. Mm-hmm. Crash body slams him on top of the truck, and then as he goes to pick him up, he whispers, "You okay?"
Dude, he didn't whisper.
Okay.
He loudly said, "You okay?"
And Harley says, "Fine," and they keep going.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Were we supposed to hear that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
actually.
absolutely.
Because it's kind of the gimmick. Because the tease of the fall of the truck absolutely was a work and was supposed to happen. The gimmick is they love to fight, but if one dies, they can't fight anymore.
I guess that's true.
Yeah,
They're like family members. They love to fight, but if somebody messes with the both of them,
I don't love to fight my family.
Yeah, your family
Who the
sucks.
fuck are you?
You don't have a brother.
That's true.
Okay.
So there you go. Mr. Ass comes out for a promo. This fucking segment.
Jesus.
Mr. Ass.
Why did people watch this show?
These are grown men, everyone. This segment involved two grown ass men having this whole segment. Mr. Ass explains, I have suffered an allergic reaction to, quote, herbal ass treatment.
Yes.
That's what he called it.
That's what it was.
He vowed he would still be at SummerSlam.
What else would you call it?
It
was an herbal ass
I
treatment.
find something else. Skin ointment.
Whatever. It was an herbal ass treatment.
Go to a spa and see. I would like
Thank
an
you.
herbal ass treatment and let me know how it goes.
Walk
Well,
into any
if
pharmacy-
you want an herbal ass treatment, you can't just go and say, I'd like some lotion. They'll put it all over your body. He specifically wanted an herbal ass treatment.
Do you know in this state you can walk into any weed shop and get a weed suppository? That would be an herbal ass treatment. I'm not lying, Brian.
That's not the issue, Craig.
Okay.
Well, how does it work, Craig?
I'm unfamiliar.
Okay. So, he vowed he would still be at SummerSlam, and Rock's face would look worse than his ass.
Rob, am I lying?
What's that? About the herbal ass
Yes.
suppository? I have no idea.
Okay,
I
never
don't know
mind.
why you would think I would know this, but
Vinny is beat red.
I don't know what's happened to the show.
I apologize.
I do. Craig.
So Rock comes out. This is like the best thing in Rock's entire career happens here. Finally, the Great One has come back to Milwaukee. And he says it like that. That's how he said it. The fans are cheering so loud, I don't think anyone in the building actually noticed. But if you watch Rock, his lips quiver. He almost smiles. He almost laughs. He almost cracked himself up. But he's The Rock, and he pulled it together, and he moved on like nothing had happened. So he says Mr. Ass is chicken shit, has terrible theme music, which is true. Brings out a lovely young woman. Says this was Mr. Ass's masseuse. The Rock went to the trouble of tracking this woman down.
No,
Flying-
Vinny. He didn't have to track her down.
Well, that's true. He set it up at the beginning. As we found
Yeah,
out
it was
later.
set up from the very beginning.
He still flew her to Milwaukee.
Hell yeah, he's The Rock.
He is The Rock. He says, what was on your ass was not oriental ass herbs or whatever you said. It was the people's poison ivy. So as we learned, yes, The Rock sabotaged Mr. Ass's ass massage.
Yeah, that's the build for Rock versus Mr. Ass. It's Summer Slam.
The second biggest show of the year.
This is the dumbest storyline
This is amazing.
in decades. But you know what? It's The Rock.
Exactly.
And so he made it work, and it fucked up the business for 19 years afterwards.
Yes. Because they tried the stupid shit with everyone else. So Rock insults the woman, tells her to beat it because he's a dick. Finds a jabroni to hold his glasses, insults him too because he's a dick. He hits the ring to beat Mr. Ass. Ass takes over, beats him with a stick, and sticks his ass in The Rock's face.
Yes. Mm-hmm. This leads to Rock doing a promo with Michael Cole, where if you imagine any Rock promo, like in the last 19 years, he's never been this morose.
His face was in Billy Gunn's ass.
He just very calmly, quietly says, Billy has been begging for The Rock to make him famous, and his dreams are going to come true at SummerSlam. And after I beat his ass, he is going to he's going to kiss my ass. He's going to get on his knees and kiss my ass. That's it.
That's all he had to say.
He cut a subdued, serious Rock promo about asses.
That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. Mankind versus Triple H with Shawn Michaels in those shorts and Shane McMahon both as refs.
Actually, these were navy blue. Those shorts were black.
He has multiple pairs of those shorts. That's actually far more disturbing. That means he bought one pair and said, hey, these look good.
We had Mankind and Triple H,
pair.
Shawn Michaels, Shane McMahon, Austin on commentary, China down there as a corner person. This was the biggest in a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Yes.
Hunter did a small package on the ramp.
I was just going to get to that.
It was awesome.
They're on the ramp, the metal ramp. Triple H tries to pin McFoley with a small package on the ramp.
Yes.
They should have just kept rolling.
Yes, they
should have.
Instead, they stop rolling, and Shane and Shawn have to drop to count at the same time. They're fucking falling all over each other. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this is such a fucking disaster. The match, when they actually do a match, is boring because Hunter cannot have an exciting match yet. He just has boring, technically proficient matches. Mm-hmm. With Mankind.
Yeah.
It's not easy to have a boring match with Mankind.
The highlight of this match is when Austin's on commentary. And he's talking about Hunter, who right now is the guy getting the rocket push as the most evil man in the world.
Excuse me, say that one more time.
The rocket push is the most evil man in the world.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Austin says, this man will hit somebody in the head with a sledgehammer to get ahead. And I respect that. That's not where I thought he was going to go with that, but I liked it. So chairs get involved. The refs are both bickering as the guys are fighting behind them. And somewhere in here, there's a suplex onto a chair. Both refs count 3. Shawn raises Mankind's hand. Shane raises Hunter's hand. Eventually, it is announced both men win, and the title match is now a 3-way.
Listen. Steve Austin is hurt. Mm-hmm. And he's going to take some time off.
Yes, he is.
They're going to take the belt off of him, and they're going to give it to Triple H. They need a new top heel. They've decided, for better or worse, it's going to be Triple H. Okay? Just build up Hunter.
Yes.
And have him beat Steve Austin.
They've done nothing for Hunter this whole last month.
This is the most overthought fucking storyline. Like, I could not possibly care less about SummerSlam. Like, I'm watching this week to week like I'm a fan. Mm-hmm. I don't give a shit about SummerSlam right now. That's what they've done to this, okay? No. For 2 weeks now, they've had bullshit matches for the number 1 contendership. Mm-hmm. None of them have been good.
No.
They've been short, bullshit, nothing happening, stupid matches. Mm-hmm. How in the fuck am I supposed to care about this with this storyline that they're doing?
Well, it's stunning. If you recall, nobody did.
Nobody did. When they both got pinned, it's just low boos throughout the building. Mm-hmm. They raise both of their hands. It's like, They announce it's going to be a 3-way. They're like, boo. Uh-huh. It's been 2 fucking weeks now. 3 weeks now. Mm-hmm. 3 weeks ago was Hunter. Then it was China. Then it was China again on this show. Then it was Mankind. Now it's Mankind and Hunter.
By the way,
and it gets more bullshit at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm. The the Mankind that just came back, and he's granted a title shot.
Because Shawn likes him. That's
Yes.
the only reason.
There's no credibility there whatsoever.
No, they did nothing to build up any of these challengers, really.
No, it was dumb.
They made the entire top division look stupid.
Absolutely.
And listen, everybody, Hunter does end up with the title. Okay? What the fuck did you do for the guy here in the last 3 weeks?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You made him look like an idiot.
Yeah.
He lost to China twice. It doesn't matter who ran in or whatever. Like, this fucking guy dropped the ball. He lost his number one contender. He fucking could not get it back. The best he could do was go toe-to-toe with Mankind, who hasn't been on TV for 3 months, and do a double pin, and now it's a three-way at the pay-per-view. Which, by the way, spoiler, he doesn't win. Fuck!
It's amazing that
It's another example of they're so hot, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's amazing that it took 5 months after actually being world champion to be a top guy for Hunter.
Yeah, I wonder fucking why.
It's just amazing.
Jesus, this show sucked.
And at the end, by the way, the last image on this show, Hunter and Foley are still brawling. Geeks are trying to separate them. Austin just walks to the ramp. He doesn't care.
No.
He's bored by this.
He knows how stupid this is.
Brian.
My
Oh.
music, please.
God damn it. I was so angry.
I don't blame you. This is a bad show.
This should be good.
Why is nothing playing here?
Craig, can you hum or something? Hang on. The finishes on this show were pin after interference in 2 minutes, pin after interference and stairs in 3 minutes, DQ due to kendo stick in less than a minute, clean pin in a tag title match, pin after distraction, and then unmitigated bullshit in the main event.
Good call. All right. Let's talk about Nitro now.
Nitro number 204 also.
Wonderful.
August 16th, 1999.
Okay, a couple things here before we get started. David was not supposed to lose the title last week.
Oh,
Really?
We talked about it. It looked weird. So what happened was Flair hates WCW again. He thinks it's stupid. It sucks. He don't want to be there.
Rick?
Yes.
Okay.
So he's got a back injury, so he can't wrestle. So he's just staying home.
For those of you not watching online, Brian did the air quotes.
Yeah, I mean, he may have a back injury, but it's Ric Flair.
He's had a back injury since the plane crash.
Yes, he broke his back in an airplane. He's
That's
been
fair.
wrestling ever since. So anyway, he's just not going to work. They're angry. Last week, they were going to give David Flair Ming as his new bodyguard, and that's how he would retain his titles, or his title every time he wrestled.
Makes sense.
They got pissed off at Rick, and so they decided to take the title off David. I don't know when they made this call. It could have been during the match. Like, they could have, from the back, told the ref, just count the pin. Benoit clearly didn't know, because he tried to lift the guy up when David didn't kick out. So actually, it's possible that everyone knew but Benoit,
Yes, actually.
which if you watch this show, anything is fucking possible.
Yeah.
They taped a David title defense for Thursday's Thunder after Nitro.
Oh, no.
They had to edit it off the show because they changed their mind. They just took the title off the guy. So anyway, that's the story.
They were
These
taping,
dipshits.
They were taping Thunder before Nitro.
Well, it was just, I don't know when they taped it, or maybe they taped 2 weeks the prior week or
Oh,
something.
okay.
But anyway, so the other thing I got to mention is this was the day after Road Wild.
2 days.
We
but yeah.
watched those
Right.
shows.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, they recap at the beginning of the show some notes from Road Wild. Because we watched it, this made complete and total sense. This is like the first time that we've actually watched the pay-per-view.
Yes.
And it really struck me, these people don't get it. They write their show with the assumption that everybody watched the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Sure.
They can see how many people are watching the fucking TV show, and they can see how many people are buying the pay-per-views. It should be abundantly clear not everybody is watching the pay-per-views. Why don't they do a better job explaining what happens at the pay-per-view? If we hadn't watched the pay-per-view, I'd be fucking clueless
Oh,
watching
dude,
this
we
show.
have no clue. None. So they did, in fact, recap Hogan returning to red and yellow, retiring Kevin Nash and Sturgis. They said Sid, in 2 months back from the company, is already up to 55-0.
Oh, excuse me. Hold on a second.
let's start right away, man. Let's get into this.
They opened the show explaining that Sid has returned to the company, and he is 55-0 since returning.
In 2 months.
Yes. Okay.
He's
Now-
had 5 days off in 2 months.
Now, granted, okay, there are house shows, all right? even if we pretend that every time he lost an house show, they pretended that he won.
Sure.
On this very fucking show, Nitro, he lost last week.
That was a tag match.
On this show.
That was a tag match.
He lost 2 weeks ago on this very show. He loses at every house show. I'm not even sure he has one. He beat Sting. That's why he beat Sting.
It is kind of amazing.
They decided that he's now undefeated 55-0. And you know what? One other thing. It's one thing if you're a heel and you come on TV after losing last week and you say, I am 55-0. And then you start powerbombing shitheads and counting that as a win. Fine, you're Psycho Sid, you're a delusional heel. That ain't what's happening.
Yeah.
The announcers are telling us that he's 55-0. Yeah. The announcers with credibility are telling us that he hasn't been defeated on shows they're fucking calling his losses on. This was so fucking hilarious. And it only got funnier.
Oh, it did. It did. Now, quickly, before we move on here, Brian and I reviewed the Sturgis show, and we talked about Sid chokeslammed Sting and pinned him.
Yes.
It didn't really occur to me until later how weird that is. Like, how many clean jobs does Sting do ever? Considering he came up at an era when the babyfaces never did clean jobs for the heels. And that was true for most of the Monday Night Wars. Like, I'm sure Vader probably beat him once or twice. I think he did a job for Goldberg here a few months back. Sid pinned him. Probably did a few jobs.
DDP.
Page might clean.
I don't know about clean.
He did a lot of jobs for interference,
Maybe
and
DDP
belt shots,
clean,
whatever.
but,
Yeah. Point is, it's really weird seeing somebody hit Sting with a move and pin him.
Yes.
That was very bizarre.
And you know what? Like I said, they were going to give Sid a title match on this show, so that finish made sense. Mm-hmm. However, next week, it's Hogan versus Sting.
Yeah.
So couldn't Sid have beaten somebody else?
I don't know. Lash LaRue versus Juventud Guerrera. A minute in, Sid comes out and attacks both men for the DQ. Cuts a promo saying that in the year 2000, his name would be heard the loudest.
What? What does that mean? In the year 2000, he says. It's 1999, by the way. Mm. The name Sid Vicious will be heard the loudest.
Yeah.
Well, when you're running...
Said the loudest?
Said the loudest.
Yeah,
no, he said heard.
When you're running down a list of names, there's Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Sid! And...
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
Says he will make Goldberg obsolete and threatened to do this all night. Yeah. I did not take this threat seriously enough. I concede. I should have taken Sid more seriously.
He said in 2000, he doesn't even know the year. In 2000, he says, I will accumulate more wins than anyone in the history of professional wrestling.
He meant to be undefeated through the next 18 months.
Well, at the rate he's going, he'll have that accumulation by next month.
Yes. Steve Regal versus Scotty Riggs. They went a minute and Sid ran in for the DQ.
Yes.
And here I wrote, this is going to be an all-time terrible show.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, they did not just do this for 3 hours.
This, by the way, was supposed to be Steve Regal versus Conan. But Conan bitched.
Good.
So they put in Scotty Riggs.
That works.
Neither of them deserved this.
So Sid says the people will not have to go through this because he knows he's putting on a terrible show here. If Mr. Hogan will give him what he wants. Again, Psycho Sid, the most
Mr.
polite
Hogan.
man.
Yeah, Mr. Hogan.
of the last years of WCW. He claimed
yes,
this right here where he beat up two men counted as another win. And this all made him so happy.
Yes.
And not like over the top cackling psychopathic Sid. He just got this big goofy Arkansas grin on.
Yeah.
56-0 now. I guess 57 counting the opener.
No. They're four men.
It's two.
As we would later learn, each of these men counts as two.
He's up to...
No, Vinny. He beat up
59.
Or each of these men counts as one.
He beat up two men in the opener.
Yes, yeah.
And he beat up two men in the second match.
So
that's four men.
So 59-0 now.
Should be 59 right now.
Right.
As stated.
Okay.
Yeah. Cat versus Mike Enos.
Here's another fun story.
Okay.
At Road Wild, it's supposed to be Ernest Miller versus Bagwell.
Didn't that happen?
Yeah.
And Ernest Miller is very upset that Bagwell put on the blackface.
Oh.
Imagine that.
He doesn't like this guy. He doesn't like this guy going in.
No.
So they say, Shat, you're going over. Probably not those exact words.
Probably not.
Bagwell bitches.
Jeez.
Shat keeps beating me up on TV. Why do I have to lose here? They say you're going to lose. So they changed the finish. And I guess Anyway, I can't remember what the actual finish ended up being, but they got in a big argument, and Shat kicked his ass at the pay-per-view. Backstage fight over somebody not wanting to do something. So, by the way, we're how many matches in? 3, 2?
3.
That's 2 incidents now where a guy is bitched about a finish. Conan and now Bagwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep that in mind.
Oh, so Kat says, I will beat Mike Enos in 4 minutes, or I will leave Colorado Springs and never return.
Excuse me, 4 minutes?
That's what he said.
Okay.
4 minutes or less. Enos beats him up. He goes after Sonny Ono. Kat kicks him in the head and pins him. Officially, they say at 3:39.
Yeah, it was 2:12. They can't tell the truth about anything. Everything is a lie.
Did you actually time a match for the first time?
I got it here.
Kat was happy. He danced in his red shoes. Berlyn hype video.
Yes.
Okay, now look. I know it's 2018 and computer graphics and things have come a long way since 1999. Sure. I guarantee you this at the time, in its own period, would have still looked embarrassingly hokey.
Well, Vinny, let's keep in mind also that there's been a Berlyn promo before. Tony Schiavone has recognized him as Alex Wright. He's now forgotten.
I forgot about that.
Who is this mysterious man, he says.
Yes.
And underneath this graphic, it reads, these are the 3 words to determine, or to describe Berlyn, okay? Technical, determined, and victorious.
Yeah.
They aired this twice with those 3 words. Did someone just grab a thesaurus?
There's a shot of his head from different angles of spinning in place.
Yes.
And then a close-up as he, fingers his cane.
Yes.
What happened.
Okay.
And smiled at the camera.
Yeah.
So backstage, Sid is beating up Silver King and La Parka.
Yeah, he beats up these 2 Mexicans.
He powerbombs Parka onto a giant bag of popcorn.
Yeah, so that's 6.
That looked so fun.
6 guys now.
6 wins now.
Okay, so we're at 61.
Sure.
Okay.
He says maybe now Hogan will give him what he wants.
Popcorn?
Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Laney Lane. I don't want to spoil things to anyone, but Sid came out at 2 minutes and killed them both.
Okay, so that's
63?
63.
Yes.
Funny you should mention that. Bobby Heenan then concludes, Sid has beaten up 9 men tonight. Anyone counting, by the way?
That's
That'd be
only
8,
eight.
Been 8.
Oh, Lodi. Lodi was...
Anyway,
He beat Lodi up here, too.
he says he's beaten 9 men.
Yeah.
He is now 59 and 0.
That's some Alvarez math right there.
I thought I was bad at math.
Oh, my God.
So I guess officially...
They can't even do it wrong right.
Yes. Officially, he's now 59 and 0. Each man he beats up is worth half a man.
I see. Well, they were cruisers.
Half a win.
Did I mention we're only a half hour into the show?
Oh, yeah.
We've already seen 4 matches, 3 of the 3 DQs via Sid.
Oh, wait till the next match.
So Sting runs out to make the save. Then Hogan. Sid bails. Hogan and Sid go back and forth a bit. Hogan, by the way, well, I'll conclude, then get back to Hogan. So Hogan says, Sting, you are the reason I retired Kevin Nash. You?
He is?
I don't know.
Beat him clean in the middle.
I don't know.
With no help.
I don't know. You're the reason I'm going to beat Sid, he said.
What?
I don't know. This is what he said, all right? Then he said, no one deserves a title shot more than you. I'm going to offer you a title shot next week in Las Vegas.
I was so excited to stay an extra day, and I realized, fuck.
It's 19 years ago.
19 years ago. There is no Nitro coming Monday.
Sting accepts, and Hogan says, we'll be friends until then, but then I'm going to kick your ass. After I kick Sid's ass, I'm going to kick your ass. This whole promo, he's...
Lots of ass from Hogan here.
I swear to God, he said ass more in this promo than Mr. Ass and Rock did in their promo on Raw.
It's very possible.
I can only imagine, like, he must have dropped an ass on accident and apologized, but they said, no, you got the green light, brother. And he said, well then. And he ran with it.
Like Owen Hart.
Ass?
Yes.
That's right, I remember that now. Here we go. The show turns every corner of the world at this exact moment. Insane Clown Posse versus Public Enemy.
What a match.
I was giddy. I
still
cannot
are.
wait for this. I still am, actually.
Am I the only one who thought Violent J was the best worker in this match?
It was
No.
close. I think Rocco Rock was a little better.
Yeah.
I ranked them at the end. I went Rocco, Jay, Shaggy, and then by a big drop-off, Johnny Grunge.
Oh, yeah, I mean, for sure.
By far.
Yeah. Did you know, by the way, we talked about this a little bit, but Violent J and Shaggy, they started as wrestlers.
Yeah.
That's how long they'd been wrestling.
Yes.
They were wrestlers, and then they were just done with wrestling because of all the bullshit.
Let's rap.
And that's when they got into music.
Yes.
So it's not like they were musicians who thought that once they were rich, it would be fun to wrestle.
Even after they put out an album, they weren't musicians.
Oh, Craig.
Zing.
Get out of here.
Clearly, you've
Weren't
not
we
heard.
just talking about this at the beginning of the show, that all music is great?
No, that's not what I said.
I'm a big fan of these clowns.
Craig clearly is not familiar with Please Don't Hate Me.
No.
A great song. So,
Or Fuck the World.
fuck the world. I'm watching this match in my attention is focused, laser focused on this. I must track everything. It's every bit as fun and terrible at the same time as you would think. They're just out, 4 guys out there in hockey shirts. 6 if you count Vampiro and Raven. The crowd loves the clowns, but they're still heels. They put Shaggy. They put Shaggy through 2 tables. Then the ref got bumped. Vampiro wipes out Grunge with a flying kick and the Michinoku driver. And he puts Violent J on top for the win. This was the pro wrestling equivalent of like junk food or Hostess products.
Okay.
Where you know it's terrible.
Okay.
Factually, you can't argue. This is awful.
Yeah, but it tastes good.
It tastes so good. It's so
great.
much fun.
I love this match.
This was awesome.
That is a great analogy.
Thank you. I was happy with that one.
And no Sid.
And there was no Sid involved. They just did a match. This is so awesome. Harlem Heat are the new tag team champions.
Yeah.
They come out. They brag about their win. They promise to take on all comers. And that's that.
Yes.
Did not waste my time. They established the new champions.
They wasted your time later.
Fair enough. Then they showed some still shots of the championship win against the Jersey Triad from Sturgis. The exact same Berlyn hype video aired. I believe you noted, Brian, that he is technical, determined, and victorious.
Yes, I did.
Did you mention it was scribbled on the screen like the WWF logo?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. At this point, the sad, sad remnants of the New World Order came out. This was once the most powerful, influential group in all of pro wrestling.
Yep.
Here is the roster at this exact point in time. Scott Norton, Horace Hogan, Vincent, and Bryan Adams.
Dude, at least they still got Norton.
Do still have Norton.
And they got rid of some dead weight here.
I suppose. Listen,
Sure.
I don't know why, but they started beating up Bryan Adams.
Now, I'll tell you why. You don't know why? There was one great thing about this segment.
Okay.
Horace talks first. He sucks. Scott Norton then grabs the mic. He's cutting this angry promo. He starts by saying, "Listen, Stevie, no one leaves our fucking gang. If you come crawling back, maybe we'll give you your spot back." Then he thinks about it and says, "Nah, probably not."
Okay, I missed the nah, probably not.
It doesn't matter. He's in the middle of a speech. He never speaks, by the way. He's in the middle of a passionate speech, and Bryan Adams snatches the mic away from him. Just pulls it right out of his hand.
Okay.
Bryan Adams starts cutting a promo, and in the background, you just see Scott Norton just look at this guy like, "Did you just fucking take that mic out of my hand? You dumb motherfucker." I'm thinking the same thing.
Okay.
I'm thinking, if this is real, if this is real,
Sure.
Scott Norton is going to beat the shit out of Bryan Adams. And Bryan Adams is happily talking away on the mic, and Stevie can take no more, and he fucking jumps him.
I did notice Norton kept like trying to grab him and get the mic back.
Yes,
and
because he snatched it out of his hand like an idiot.
Just of all the things the NWO has been through, I thought stealing a microphone during a promo was low on the list of reasons to beat somebody.
Have you watched this crew, Vinny? Clearly, Bryan Adams had been on thin ice for a while.
That's fair.
He was fucking terrible.
Well,
He stepped over
they're
the
all
line
terrible. Well, not Norton.
one too many times, and Norton was like, "You're dead." And he fucking killed him.
They all beat him up. So now there's 3 men in the NWO. Now it's just Norton, Horace, and Vincent.
Well, if you take out Bryan Adams, those 3 men are a stronger unit than the 4 of them with Bryan Adams.
I suppose the
This is an improvement.
average wrestler in the NWO
Yes.
has gone up, but I don't know.
Yes.
I still think I'd rather fight 3 guys than 4.
If Norton could get rid of the other 2 guys, now we've got a unit.
The New
The
World
unit.
Uno.
Yes.
The unit of one.
The New World won. That's it.
Okay.
NWO.
The New World only. He's the only one left.
Anyway.
I'm not wrong about this, Vinny. Look at these other two idiots. Vincent
I'm not.
and Horace.
I'm not defending them.
We'll talk about that
I'm
later.
not defending them. Mean Gene calls Kidman This is Mean Gene's first question. I guess it's a question.
Can I try to be Kidman?
I'll be Gene.
Well,
Okay.
You've got his haircut in his face.
Get
So
out
go
of
ahead.
here.
First of all, you are a chick magnet.
Well, you know, everybody's got a click backstage.
You totally should ignore that.
We're just a bunch of filthy animals.
He's
We
talking
love to
about
party and
himself.
chase the chicks.
That is what he said.
That's what he said. We're just a bunch of filthy animals, Gene.
Right.
We love to party and chase the chicks. I couldn't even attempt to do this with a straight face.
He said it in such an aw shucks kind of moment.
It was
Wait.
painfully, hideously awkward.
This man had never chased a chick in his life.
No,
Oh,
So, yes.
well, he ended up with,
Tory.
clearly,
Sorry, so-
he learned something along the way.
yeah.
But yes, so he was talking about Ray and Eddie and Conan. They are the filthy animals now, because that's what Kidman called them.
Who wrote this?
That's a great question.
Who wrote this segment?
Not Kidman.
Because Kidman is here explaining that all we do
Yes.
is we party and we chase chicks.
Right.
Gene then says, how about that Nitro Girls
How many times, he asks,
video?
have you watched the Nitro Girls pay-per-view?
Yep. Kidman says,
Kidman says, more than you. And Gene says, I've watched it 17 times.
17 times.
And Kidman says, I've watched it more than that.
so what?
So,
There's a disconnect here.
no, yes, there's a disconnect. It doesn't make sense that the guy watching the Nitro Girl pay-per-view 18 or more times
Right.
is also out chasing chicks.
Yeah. This is impossible.
Yes, doesn't make any sense. Gene asks, who is the hottest Nitro Girl? And Kidman says, with all due respect to my friend Dallas Page, I gotta say Kimberly.
He's not wrong.
How could that be disrespectful? Now,
Hey, DDP was disrespected.
it occurred to me later, because DDP is a heel, he's very insecure.
Sure.
Yeah, but he's allowing his wife to do a Nitro Girls bikini pay-per-view. And then he gets mad
When
that
someone says he's
said
hot?
his girl is the hottest of all of them.
Yes.
Hadn't she been in Playboy already, too?
Yes. A couple times, I think. So Paige comes out, slaps Kidman, lays him out. He demands a ref come out so I can do a match with this filthy little... I can't even say it. So I can do a match with this filthy little booger, is what he called him.
Booger.
Yes, a filthy little booger. I laughed. So we get DDP and Kidman
Hey, Kimberly bounced down to the ring at this
at
point.
the end. At
Oh,
the
I'm
end.
sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So they wrestle a few minutes. Kidman turns the diamond cutter into a roll-up for the win. Paige is irate. He diamond cuts Kidman. Diamond cuts the ref. He starts laying into Kidman. He's whipping him and choking him with a belt. Out comes Kimberly in an outfit that proves Billy Kidman was right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I approve of this outfit.
Yes. And she manages to calm Paige down. This is your friend, she says. She leads him away. Disco Inferno comes out.
Dude. Disco Inferno comes out, and as soon as he has a mic in his hand, I thought, he's here to accept my challenge for this weekend.
You have a strange mind sometimes.
And then you know what he said? He says, I am a superstar and a sex symbol
Yep. And an icon.
A booty-shaking badass.
and an icon. And then he says, don't call me, I'll call
It
you.
actually is true.
He was like, what the fuck?
He was talking about the filthy animals in 1999 and not Brian Alvarez in 2018.
He may as well have been. I'm calling him on Observer live on the air tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm not fucking around anymore. I'm going to call him on the air. It's my last chance before I leave.
I guess so. So he says he's willing to prove he is the top superstar in WCW.
And boy, after I watch this match, I want this man as my partner.
fair.
This fucking match was great.
Out comes Chris Benoit. He challenges him to a match and hits the ring, and they do the match. And yes, Disco Inferno versus Chris Benoit had a very, very good TV match. I mean, it's Benoit. It's not hard to have a good match, but Disco was also very good here.
Disco didn't screw anything up. He looked good in the
It went beyond not screwing anything up. Disco was very good here.
Yeah.
There's a point here, in fact, as Benoit begins his comeback late in the match, Heenan says, "This is a great match." And Shivani says, "This is 4 stars."
Oh my.
Now
They did.
that's generous.
It was a little
It
generous.
was 3
A little.
plus. This is in the 3-star range. It's not 4 stars, but it was a very, very good TV match. And Benoit, I listened to the finish because there's not every match needs to have 25 near falls and cutoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Benoit chopped him a bunch. He hit some suplexes. He hit the diving headbutt, and he pinned him.
Yeah.
The end.
Great.
Great.
It was awesome.
Just great. An excellent TV match. Barry Windham versus Goldberg.
What a great match this was.
This actually was too.
This was 2 in a row.
Goldberg is still using the Megadeth music. The match went 30 seconds. Goldberg killed every redneck in Colorado Springs and pinned Windham with a spear and jackhammer.
Yep. Place went absolutely crazy.
That's how you
That's
get a guy over.
all they
That's
want
all you have to do.
out of Goldberg.
Yeah.
They want
Come
Roman
out,
Reigns to get over. Do
Kill
this.
geeks.
In a handicap match,
Oh, my
Harlem
God.
Heat took on the entire NWO.
Can I talk about this?
Craig,
I don't
you
want to.
rarely do this, so
I know.
yes, please.
There were 2 Harlem Heat, and then there was the remnants of the NWO on the other side of the ring. There were 6 options to start this match.
Had this same thought. I also did the math.
There were 6 options to start this match.
I'm drawing a flowchart in my head.
Right. I've got an abacus out. I'm doing long division. And then they pick the 2 dirt worst guys to put in the ring together, Vincent and Stevie Ray.
Not to mention.
I'm not done.
Can I just mention one thing, though? When they put these 2 guys in the ring, the announcers explained to us there was a coin flip backstage to determine who would start.
I want to see that coin.
For a fucking tag match? What the fuck difference does it make? This isn't War Games. It's the NWO Black and White versus Harlem Heat. They did a coin flip to figure out who got in the fucking ring first in a tag match?
These guys went at each other. They screwed up everything. They hit each other badly and probably hard too, because if it hurts and it looks bad, it's the worst. It all ended with Vince flying off the ropes and Stevie Ray catching him, and he was supposed to press slam him, but Vince, the professional wrestler, does not know how to post. So Stevie Ray got him to his shoulders and he just threw him down. Vince, go ahead.
It got better after that.
Slightly.
Well, Booker was in the ring. When Booker was in the ring, everything was great. There's a point in this match when Scott Norton makes a cover, and he goes to cover Stevie Ray, and Booker T hits the ring to break it up. And Norton pops up and points a finger at Booker, and Booker throws in the brakes, and he turns and he leaves. He's not fucking with Scott Norton.
Why would you?
The match goes way too long. Eventually, Brian Adams let me take it back. Brian Adams runs out and attacks the NWO. He's in the ring. He's laying waste to people. Side note, he press slammed Horace Hogan over his head.
Yes, he did.
Never
Because Horace posted.
Never let it be said that Brian Adams was not strong. No, this is a DQ. All this carnage, the ref just watches, and then Booker hits a missile dropkick, and Stevie Ray pins Horace, and that's the end.
Bad.
That was bad.
I realize that Stevie Ray can't do anything, but he really can't sell.
No, they got the
And
heat on him.
If he's got to be in there as a sympathetic babyface for like 5 minutes, it's going to suck.
With Horace and Vincent.
Like, at least put Booker in there to sell,
Yes.
and then have Stevie do like a quick comeback and go home.
Right.
Stevie in there trying to be the babyface in peril.
Stevie Ray is Ricky Morton.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work. My.
I got a bone to pick with the crowd in this match.
Yeah, the crowd did not enjoy this match nearly enough. They did not
The fans
appreciate it.
chanted boring
These fools.
during Rick Steiner versus Knobs.
I tweeted Vince and said, I know which match is going to be your favorite
Yeah,
on
and
this week's Nitro.
it may not have been public, but a few days before that, Lance actually jumped the gun, and he let me know there's a match on here I was going to like a lot. Mm-hmm. It was private, but then you also tagged Lance in the post. So I figure it's fair to say, and he said, "Hey, I know what match Vince is going to like."
There was an incident in like 1988. It was before Ken Shamrock became a fighter.
Mm-hmm. He was still Vince Torelli.
And it was 2-on-1. Mm-hmm. But the Nasty Boys beat the shit out of Ken Shamrock in a hotel, almost killed this guy.
Didn't they almost throw him out a window?
So, like, Knobs and Sags, they were tough guys.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
They weren't shooters or anything like that, but they were tough guys.
They were bar fighters.
They put Knobs in here with Rick Steiner. They got in a fucking fight.
Yeah, they did.
It's awesome.
They're There were more stiff punches to the face in the first 30 seconds of this match than in Floyd Mayweather's entire career.
But you know what I love about it? Every time Rick's in there, Rick and Knobbs are in there, and they are punching each other in the face so hard back and forth.
Yes.
Bobby Heenan and Shivani are talking about how there's I can't imagine all these taters I've seen in this match.
Yes.
Something like
Rotten
that.
Boise, there's a lot of taters in the ring.
That's right. And then Rick just shoots him in. Watch the clothesline, brother. And they do a nice cooperative spot.
Sure.
And they beat the shit out of each other again.
He went back to working. For those of you who may be a little young and missed the Steiner's career, Rick Steiner was like an oversized Ishii.
Okay.
Just a big, mean motherfucker. Just hits everyone and wants you to hit him too. So they're throwing bomb after bomb after bomb. Shivani says, Knobbs does not have the muscular physique of a Rick Steiner. He's right.
He is right about that.
I'm going to write that down.
Knobbs is, I'll give him credit. He never lost his wind, but this was a struggle for him by the end.
Oh, yeah.
They were working hard and moving a lot.
Hey, Knobbs had the better cardio.
I don't know.
I think he did. When they were brawling outside the ring, there was a spot where they brawl over by the barricade or whatever, and Rick Steiner's got his arms by his sides, and he's just kind of, He was so tired.
He got punched in the face.
I'm thinking more about when Knobbs was in the ring. He was always able to do whatever they wanted to do, but he could not open his mouth wide enough to take in enough breath to fuel his body.
They were both gassed.
Yeah, they were two big dudes doing a lot of stuff at a very fast pace.
It takes a lot of energy to punch people in the face.
There is, and to get punched in the face.
Right.
To block a man's fist with your chin is difficult. There's a classic spot in pro wrestling that almost always sucks. One guy's laying down on his back in the ring. His opponent goes to the middle rope and cuts off with like an axe handle, and the other dude gets his boot up, and he kicks the guy in the face, and it always looks dumb.
Hokey.
With one exception. This one. When Knobbs comes off the rope and his head clobbers Rick Steiner's boot.
He was probably so fucking tired.
He probably just legit fell on him.
Couldn't even protect himself.
Almost
He
broke
just
his
fell
leg.
off.
He broke his leg with his chin. So Jimmy Hart eventually bonks Knobbs with a dog collar. Rick hits the diving bulldog for the win. This was
Did you see
tremendous.
Knobbs covered in blood by the end of this match?
No, I believe it.
He hit him so hard with that dog collar.
Legit studded spiked dog collar.
And Knobbs is laying there, and you can see it running down his forehead.
I'll have to go back and watch. It makes it even better.
And then he gets up, and then the camera zooms out quickly. He is just covered in blood.
They had a good chunk of Randy Savage's win over Dennis Rodman from Road Wild, including, yes, the porta potty spot. Bam Bam Bigelow versus Perry Saturn.
This was another one. Bigelow got pissed off to have to do the job here.
I see.
Keep in mind, he's coming off a tag team title run. He shows up, they say Saturn's going over, he's all pissed off. So he does the job.
Technically.
Jumps to his feet, no-sells it, and just beats the shit out of Saturn.
So they do the match. Bam Bam is the giant who will sell, but he'll weeble and wobble and not go down. And then finally at the end, the ref gets bumped and Saturn lays him out with an exploder. This went on too long, by the way. It wasn't a bad match, but it went too long.
Can we talk about the funny spot where Bam Bam Bigelow did the lowest dropkick I've ever seen?
To the gut.
He jumped high in the air.
Maybe not.
He dropkicked Saturn right in the balls.
Yeah, I think he got him in the...
Saturn falls down, grabs his Johnson, doesn't get up for like a minute. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, you just dropkicked him in the nuts.
He did. So, Canyon runs out to try to interfere. Saturn hits him. Bam Bam picks up Saturn. Shane Douglas is out there doing nothing. Canyon comes off the top. He hits them, so Saturn falls on top. The ref counts 3, so Bam Bam has lost, but then Canyon and Bam Bam both pop up and celebrate like they have won. I was very confused. I had no idea what was going on. Then it got... I don't know if saved is the right word, but I forgot about that because the Revolution clears the ring. And then they are mugging for the camera. And this is the quartet of pro wrestlers on my screen. You have the best wrestler in the company. You have Perry Saturn, who's just nothing but muscles and tattoos. You have Shane Douglas, who's all swollen up in a 3 sizes too small, bright neon yellow t-shirt.
He stuck out like a sore thumb in this segment.
Well, the man who stuck out like a sore thumb is Dean Malenko in his Dockers and plaid shirt. Right. Like the shop teacher who works with the JV wrestling team after school. And he's sitting there with these stars. I was laughing my ass off at Dean's outfit. He didn't even... he didn't half-ass an attempt to look cool.
Well,
He says these are on sale.
The bigger issue to me, Vinny, forget their outfits. Like, Benoit's awesome. Dean Malenko is like, he's a great wrestler. Like, he's not fitting in the main event, but he's a great wrestler. Saturn is not a great wrestler, but he does cool stuff. Like, he does the great flying elbow. He does awesome suplexes.
Yes.
Then there's Shane Douglas.
Shane does the talking.
He's old and he's fat. He hasn't even been
Broken.
talking.
Yeah.
He tries his Pittsburgh plunge and keeps pinning himself because he fucks up his own move. That's what sticks out.
Sid Vicious versus Hulk Hogan in the main event.
this was every Hulk Hogan match from the 80s you've ever seen.
No, it was way worse.
It was every Hulk Hogan match from the 90s you ever saw.
Okay.
It was Hogan and Sid in 1999. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, it's terrible.
I don't know what hurt on Hogan, but like
Everything.
he couldn't walk.
Yeah.
And they're trying to do spots where he hits the ropes and like he can barely hit the ropes. It reminds me of that match he had with Flair where they were doing a match in like 2009 and Hogan hit the ropes and his hip came out.
Ooh.
Like I thought that was going to happen here.
Yeah.
Like Hogan could barely move in this match.
So they did a total cartoon match. Like, even by Hulk Hogan Sid standards.
Excuse me, what's the match, by the way, Vinny? I just want to make sure we get this.
Hulk Hogan, the champion.
Yes.
Defeating as the challenger, Sid Vicious.
The undefeated.
The undefeated Sid Vicious.
Okay.
63 and 0.
For the title.
In a one-on-one match for the World Heavyweight
Right,
Championship.
Hulk Hogan versus Sid for the title.
Yes.
Okay.
So the announcers, this is the point where they were starting to count up all the beatings backstage and asking if this counted as wins. Is it, he beat up 9 guys. Does that count as 9 wins? No, it counts as 0. 0 wins is what it should. So they're going through all this stuff, a long nerve pinch. When they did a very, very long nerve pinch, and then they raised Hogan's arm once, and then twice, and then he did the big finger wave, all I can think was, imagine anyone but Hogan trying to do this match on Raw in
jeez.
2018.
Dude, I may try it in Vegas this weekend.
Sure. Well, that's,
I'll be all by myself.
that's different. So, eventually, Hogan hulks up. Sid is so frightened when Hogan hulks up.
As he should be.
There is so much garbage hitting the ring. So, big...
He's hitting the ring already?
Haha.
I didn't notice till after the finish.
Oh, the garbage hit the ring way before the finish.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Big boot and leg... It was when Steiner hit the ring.
Oh, yeah.
Steiner hits the ring during a world championship match between Psycho Sid and Hulk Hogan. Rick Steiner runs out and starts beating up Hogan, and then so much garbage at the ring, so many full beverages.
Yes.
It looked like people had bought beverages and saved them to throw at the end.
But you know what the irony of all of this is? He hits the ring, and the fans presume it's yet another bullshit disqualification on a Nitro show.
On this show,
They start pelting the ring with garbage. Charles Robinson does not ring the bell.
No.
It is not a disqualification.
No.
The match is continuing even though there's a man in the ring beating up Hulk Hogan.
Not to mention they had used chairs earlier in the match.
Yes.
well, that's... I mean,
At will.
they had...
Did you notice right before the garbage started hitting the ring, Sid was about to pin Hulk Hogan, and all the fans stood up on the 2 count
Yes.
and looked to their right.
They've been doing this for a while.
So you can see who's coming down the ramp.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
have been so programmed and so brainwashed
Yes.
to expect
On
something
both
to happen.
on both shows, by the way.
Yes.
No one ever just wins a wrestling match,
Right.
especially not in the main event. So, Rick and Sid are beating up Hulk Hogan. Sting runs out to help his buddy the Hulkster. He clotheslines Sid, and they both go out of the ring. And Hulk Hogan turns to Rick Steiner, and he beats him up, and he leg drops him, and he makes a cover, and Charles Robinson looks around and shrugs, and he counts 3.
Yes.
Yep. So to recap,
And the bell rang after that.
to
bell rang.
recap, Hulk Hogan in a match with Sid Vicious pinned Rick Steiner,
Yes.
who was not in the match.
No.
Correct.
Meaning that Sid, despite not beating Hulk Hogan, is still
Undefeated.
undefeated.
The winning streak is intact.
Yes.
Now, after the match, I don't know if you guys caught it, but Hogan was going through his posing routine and he had his belt. And he handed his belt to Sting to hold it so Hogan could pose for the crowd.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's part
It's
of it.
coming.
That's part of it. And
It's
Sting,
coming.
I mean, even before that, they were Sting and Hogan were mugging for the camera, and one of them said, "I'll see you in Vegas next week," and they said, "That's right." And yeah, Hogan turns to Sting and says, "Hold this so I can flex my giant muscles."
By the way, for
Sting
the
was
record,
so annoyed.
on this show here, the plan was Hulk Hogan is about to turn heel.
He just turned babyface.
Yeah.
Okay.
And eventually, Sting just said, "Here, take your belt back. I'm leaving." And he did, and Hogan just kept flexing.
I guess the idea that Hogan was going to turn heel, but they didn't want you to think they figured you would figure that he was going to turn heel. So they brought out the red and yellow to try to convince you that he would be a babyface. But then it got over. So we'll see where it goes here. Mm-hmm. I do love that Rick Steiner, every time he's in the ring with anybody else, he just bullies him and beats the shit out of him.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the moment Hogan lays a finger on him, he's just bouncing around like a ping pong ball. It's incredible.
It's all about the money.
It's all about this business, everybody. Let's get the finisher report.
Hey, good call, Brian.
This should be fun.
This may take a while. How long does the song go?
I can loop it.
The finishes on this show were DQ in a minute due to run-in. DQ in a minute due to run-in. Pin after distraction in less than 4 minutes. DQ in 2 minutes due to run-in. Pin after interference. Clean pin. Clean pin. Pin in a handicap match after interference. Pin after interference backfired. Pin after interference backfired, and all sorts of other shenanigans. Pin of the wrong man in a singles match that somehow didn't end the winning streak of the guy who was in the match and didn't win.
34 seconds right there.
Nicely done, Vince.
I've had some practice.
Wow, what a show. What a group of shows there.
I'll say.
Nitro was fun by the end. I had a lot of fun watching Nitro between Public Enemy.
I thought it was a fun show. It's
the
just
Benoit
fucking
match,
stupid.
It was incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
You can be stupid and fun.
It was stupid and fun, absolutely. Dude, I just said the Public Enemy Clowns match was awesome.
Yeah. All right, everybody. This is the last video show till next Tuesday, actually. Because we are heading to Vegas for the convention.
Woo!
I leave on Thursday. Vinny leaves. I don't even know when he leaves. When do you leave?
I leave on Thursday.
All right, he lives on Thursday as well. I'll be back on... Actually, we'll do a Sunday, I think, video show. When do you come back, Rob?
I get there Friday evening and I fly back Sunday evening.
So you won't be back in time for SummerSlam?
No, I'll probably leave for the airport right around the time SummerSlam starts.
All right. Well, anyway, I'll be here one way or the other.
Mm-hmm. Craig, what are you doing Sunday?
We'll see what we can do on Sunday.
I'll still be in Vegas, everyone.
Yeah, anyway.
Don't forget the karaoke party Sunday night.
One way or the other, I'm covering SummerSlam here. So, Vegas Convention, August 16th through 20th. Got a lot of big things going up, including SummerSlam and NXT in the theater. Apparently, the FSW show, where at this point, I'll be wrestling a handicap match against Peach Machine and Mikey G. That's an afternoon show. So, we can go from there to the theater to watch the NXT show. And there is a Friday night Brazilian steakhouse dinner where apparently I will be involved in a meat-eating contest with Chris Wolf, in which he will be soundly defeated.
You're going to attempt to eat more meat than a literal wolf.
Yeah,
Okay.
I will.
A woman?
Fact.
A woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
A destroyer in this meat-eating contest.
My money's on Chris Wolf.
This is an interpromotional meat-eating contest.
Okay.
Intergender.
Interpromotional intergender meeting contest.
Yes. She will be humiliated. I'd go as far as to say. Other people at the Brazilian Steakhouse will be pelting the table with garbage. This will be such a destruction. So that's coming up. There's
I want to go.
There's a sweet party.
Yay!
Yep. I will be visiting a number of strip clubs, attempting to find the Disco Inferno. So if you'd like to join me, you can talk to Vinny, and a lot of other fun stuff as well.
He always needs a handler.
Yeah, I do.
I'm married now.
So anyway, what the hell does that have to do with anything?
I don't go to strip clubs as often.
I'm going to look for a bouncer.
I realize that.
Yeah, that's all.
But you look at me like I was the expert on strip clubs.
So you're
which
gonna-
I have
Well,
not
you
been.
are.
I have not been since 2007.
Apparently, you're the expert on strip clubs, and I'm the expert on anal weed suppositories.
Right.
Yeah, what's happening to this show?
I don't know.
I'm disgusted. Anyway, if you want all the information, head to
you guys
Wrestling
combine
Super
the
China
two?
Buffet Day. Don't
Super
forget
China Buffet Day. That's right.
the Cosmopolitan, whatever, Wicked Spoon Brunch,
Cosmopolitan Wicked Spoon Buffet.
which is awesome for those of you who've not been there.
Oh, by the way, in the Miracle Mile shops, there is a restaurant called Lobster Me.
Oh, my.
And Chris in Vegas has alerted us that if you go to Lobster Me, in the Miracle Mile shops, and you mention the Observer Figure 4 Convention, you get 20% off your meal.
Wow.
That's right. So spread the word about that one. Lobster Me in the Miracle Mile shops. And I think that's it. So WrestlingObserver.com, scroll down to the bottom of the daily update. Everything you need to know is there. You can get tickets for some of the fun stuff and all that information. So what's so funny, Vince?
We just got a notification tweet. Hey, it's Drunk Matt. Your admin fixed my problem with my payment. I wanted to say he's awesome. Thanks. I still want a job, though.
Sweet. I don't know what he's talking about. What does that have to do with me? Where'd you get that? Twitter?
Twitter's tagged. You and I are both tagged in it.
I see. I'm not on my Twitter. Anyway, so check that out. And that is it, everybody. We'll talk to you again after a while. See you in Vegas.
Good night.
Adios.